Welcome back to my channel. My name is Andromedus, and today we're going to talk about strings. Now, have you ever walked into a party and there'll be lettering hanging down, like celebration that says like happy 40th anniversary or happy 21st birthday or something? What you're seeing is a string. A string is basically a combination of letters that's formed to our mind that makes words or makes a sentence. To the computer's mind, on the other hand, does the computer have a mind? Anyway, to the computer's mind, it only sees the characters. And what the string is basically a character that's put with another character. It could be, technically speaking, a string could be one character long, or a string could be, several characters long, the whole entire paragraph, or a page worth of letters. But it doesn't know what, it doesn't know what sentence you're writing. It just knows that there's a bunch of characters that needs put together. And how we look at those is, most oftentimes, you can have, and this gets a little bit confusing, you can have a number as a string. If you want to use it as a number, though, you have to convert it into a number at some point or another. But as far as the string wise goes, you can say like your address is 124 Chestnut Road. Well, the computer will see that all as it won't see any numbers, it just sees the text that you wrote. And you can manipulate that. Let's say that we want to only get the name of the road out of that text. Then there's methods and ways, and depending on what program you're using, that you can use in order to just chop off everything before Chestnut Road and anything that might come after Chestnut Road. There's ways that you can manipulate the string and change things around. You can have Chestnut Road 124, or you can add on to it. Let's say you have one string that says 124 Chestnut Road, and a second string that says 701356. Yep. That's not a zip code. Anyway, you can add those together, and it's called concatenation. And it's a hard word to say. You can take a string and you can tell the system that you want to repeat it several times. You can say like happy birthday, and you can tell it to say happy birthday 4 times, and it'll print out, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Like I said, the computer doesn't know that it's what you're saying. It has no interest in what you're saying. It just knows that these are the words that letters, characters that you want to put there, and you put those characters together. Now, a string is made up, like I said, of characters, and what characters are is pretty much every symbol. And within I think it's called a Unicode or UTC 8. It sounds like a time zone, but anyway, it's in a Unicode. It's a standardized set of characters. But you got your regular alphabet, you got your numbers, and then you have other symbols like your exclamation mark, your question mark, your asterisk, your ampersand, your quotation marks are technically, although those are used differently. I think there's a way to demark in that where it knows the difference between the two of them, but you'll get into that later on. And even a space, an empty space in between what we see as words, to the computer it's a character. So like if you wanted to count, if you wanted the computer to count how many characters are in the word I am 16, then what the computer is counting is I blank or space A M space 1 6. It's count 7, whereas we're only seeing I am 16, so we're seeing 5 of those. But strings are very useful, and you'll find a lot of code using it. It's how we have HTML or your websites. When you're looking at websites, anything that you're reading on there is going to be a string. If you're storing information somewhere, like if you have a database of customers and you want to keep track of that, then those are going to be in strings. But there's string there's it's considered immutable, and what that means is that if you put down my address as a variable name, like we covered in the other video, you put my address as 124 Chestnut Road, then the 124 Chestnut Road can't be changed from that point on. But what it can happen is you basically make a copy of it, do your manipulations on that copy, and then that copy is what you have left. And you can call back the original my address, and you will pull up 124 Chestnut Road. But if you pull up the copy that you made and manipulated the letters on, then you might be able to pull up my new address, Chestnut Road 124. So there's different things that you can do with that. It's used in all kinds of ways, like your graphical user interfaces. Basically, in order to define, like say a button, right? Well, it'd be kind of boring for something to say button all the time, but even just the word button written on there would be a string. But let's say the button says exit. Well, that's a string. Let's say the button says save. It's a string. So it's not. It makes more sense when you think about it, instead of thinking about it in words like what you normally say. Think about it. You can write it that way. We will see it that way, but always remember when you're writing it out that the computer doesn't see it that way. The computer sees it as a collection of characters, symbols, numbers, and letters, and that it puts together. In certain languages, we would call that an array. In other languages, we just call it a list. I don't know if I'll go into that later or not, because that's a little bit different of a beast. But yeah, that's about it. So understanding strings is not that difficult. Like I said, if you ever have a hard time understanding what it means, just think about that. Think about when you went into that store and you went to go get some party gifts or whatever, and you decide that you want to get some lettering to tell somebody happy birthday, and you're missing that A, and you gotta go in and you gotta look for that letter. But the end result of what you put together is a complete string. I think next video I will be covering the if-else. And they're called if-else statements, or in Python to be if-elif-else. Depends on which programming it is. Basically the same in each one of them. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you look forward to the next one, because I know I do. And peace.